Unsettling things said by astronauts. Story Musgrave is a NASA astronaut who's had 6 flights to space. He said that on 2 of these flights he encountered what appeared to be space snakes. He said these space snakes were 6 to 8 feet in length. Some believe this could have been an extreme repeating hallucination, but others believe it's proof that there's some kind of alien life form out there. Most people think the first thing Neil Armstrong said when he landed on the moon was "one small step for man, one great leap for mankind." But NASA claims to have lost transmission for 2 minutes before this, and it said Neil Armstrong's transcript went like this in those 2 minutes. There are other spacecraft out there, lined up on the far side of the crater's edge. They're on the moon, they're watching us. Leroy Chiao was the commander of the International Space Station for many years. He said once while in space he saw some green light.
Weird Space Facts, Part 7. Judith Love Cohen was an American engineer who helped create the guidance system that brought Apollo 13 back home safely. While working on a crucial equation one day, she went into labor but took the problem with her to the hospital. She soon called her boss to tell him that she finished it. Then she gave birth to Jack Black. NASA employs a man named George Aldridge to sniff everything before they send it to space. If George doesn't like the smell, it doesn't go to space. The Kessler syndrome is the theory that a small collision of our satellites could cause a major catastrophe for humanity. The collision could create a cascade where satellites break into tiny pieces and destroy other satellites, until the Earth is surrounded by a massive cloud of flying shrapnel. This would make it impossible to leave the planet for many generations.
I don't know if you guys have picked up on it yet, but I really like space. So here are some cool space things that I found because, you know, space is cool as fuck. So this is a composite photo of the moon, and that reddish color is actually the moon's iron rusting. But scientists don't really know how the moon even has rust because the moon doesn't have water or oxygen. This is a photo of a massive eruption on the sun, and that little loop right there, that thing can fit 2 whole Earths inside of it. Last year's SpaceX's Falcon 9 launch caused a twilight phenomenon, and this happens when the exhaust particles from a missile or rocket condense, freeze, and then expand in the upper atmosphere.
This is the most dangerous thing in the universe. It is called a magnetar. It's a type of neutron star. They emit very high energy gamma rays and X-rays. In 2004, a magnetar caused the largest space explosion of all time. This wiped out many satellites. If a magnetar got as close as the moon is to Earth, it would destroy our planet. The ozone layer would burn up and the Earth's temperature would increase a lot. Also, all electricity would stop working. Right now, there are 12 known magnetars in the Milky Way, our galaxy.
Weird Space Facts, Part 4. Brian May is an astrophysicist who once collaborated with the team behind New Horizons, the first spacecraft to explore the planet Pluto. May is better known as the lead guitarist for the band Queen. If the Earth and all of its mass were a black hole, it would be the size of a ping pong ball. Only 3 people in the nation were qualified to handpack the parachutes for Apollo 15 in 1971. Their expertise was so vital that they were not allowed to ride in the same car together. A single auto accident could have crippled the entire space program. In 1859, a massive solar flare erupted on the sun. It blasted high-energy particles toward the Earth, creating brilliant auroras as far south as Hawaii. If a solar flare of that size erupted today, it would overload the entire power grid on Earth.
How planets sound, Part 2. This is what Jupiter sounds like. This is what Saturn sounds like. This is what Neptune sounds like. And this is what Pluto sounds like.
Rogue planets exist, and these are planets that were probably once in orbit but got knocked out somehow and are now just hurtling through space at unknown speeds following like 0 rules. Whenever you see a star, you're actually touching a tiny piece of that star when one of its photons decided to travel millions, even billions of years across empty space, dodging dust and space unicorns just to land in your retina. Unless you blinked and then that photon's life was wasted. Because our universe is expanding and all the stars and galaxies are flying farther and farther away from each other, it's possible that a civilization far in the future will look up in the sky one day and see absolutely nothing and then think that they're completely alone in the universe.
Impossible things that can happen on other planets. On the planet Kepler 16b, you can have 2 shadows. That's because the planet has 2 suns. This means your shadow is reflected not once, but twice. On the planet CORT 7b, it rains rocks. That's because one half is near a sun, making it very hot, while the other half is very cold. The hot part of the planet dissolves rocks. These then go into the atmosphere and then turn into a rock again. Then rocks rain down on the cool side. On Titan, the moon of Saturn, you can fly. The atmosphere is very thick. This means if you had a glider or wings, you could fly around the planet. 55 Cancri E is a planet made of diamonds. It's worth $26.9 nonillion, which is this number.